The first thing I want to demonstrate or want to talk about really is what how I approach drumming. And I look at it this way. There's two aspects of it. One is finding really cool sounds that I just want to hear. For instance, this is a djembe. It's a West African drum. We use it in Akoma. It has a lot. It's a beautiful drum. And just to hear one sound on it, what this sounds like. This is playing it in the center. This is a. I think this is a goat skin drum. It's over a wood shell. Just playing in the center of what we call a bass note, a low note. It sounds like this. For me, I find that really satisfying. It feels good. It has a good sound to it. And I think when people hear it, when I hear other people make that sound, I like it. I want to hear it again. Just that sound. That's all it needs to do. And for a lot of people, there's a feeling that it vibrates in their body, near their heart. I feel that. And it also expresses who we are, our heartbeat. So that's just one sound. It's not even a rhythm. Maybe that was a rhythm when I played it in a repeating pattern. Now, if I introduce another sound on this drum, just it's a different sound. We call that in drum speak, that's a tone. So it's a bass and a tone. Together, now they're forming a melody. They're really having a conversation with each other. Air. It's a conversation. When you have a conversation on a drum, then you have a rhythm. And when that rhythm gets repeated over and over again, we call that a groove. And that's basically the goal of drumming, is to create a groove with good sounds or cool sounds that you want to hear over and over again. And every time you hear it over and over again, you feel good. And if you can do that with other musicians at the same time, then it sounds even better. That's what Akoma is all about. Or if you play it for other people, or if they play for you, then it feels good to be together with those people. And that's what building community is all about with drums. And that's why it's spiritual for me. Now, this drum was built exactly for that purpose, to have those kind of melodies going on. But we can do that with anything. And that's what I want to demonstrate here. And by the way, what I'm going to demonstrate is with very simple rhythms. That rhythm I made up just there. I don't know, I made a new rhythm. That's my new rhythm. I'm going to try that rhythm on some other sounds, some other objects, and some other noisemakers. One more thing I want to say, and that is, the rhythms are simple, then there's more room for listening. And if you're listening more, then you have more ideas about what you want to hear, or you can appreciate the sounds more. And so keeping it simple is a really good idea. Okay, let me move on to this instrument called the bucket, our bucket. This bucket, it happens to be the bucket I picked up. What I'm looking for is two different sounds. There might be more, but at least two. If I have two, I can create a melody out of it. Okay, here's our bucket. Let's see what sounds we can get out of this. So there's two different pitches. Let's see if we can hold this in such a way. Okay, there we go. This sounds a very nice instrument. One thing that the sounds do to me, when I hear them, they inspire me to play different things. So on the djembe, I played something very simple. On this, and maybe because this instrument or this drum, this bucket, doesn't have as much sustain, I can play a little bit more close together with the notes. And and that sounds good, and I like the way it sounds. I'm going to try something else here. This is the bucket, always a good idea. Okay, the pot. Now, this pot I've chosen because I really like the way this sounds. It's not going to have the same kind of sounds as the plastic bucket or the skin djembe, because it's metal, and metal sounds have a lot of resonance, have a lot of interesting overtones and frequencies in them. Like a bell. There we go. Now when you're playing this, holding with one hand, there's less things you can do. You can't play two-handed as easily, so you play more with your fingers. The nice thing about a metal object, especially one like this that vibrates a lot, is that you get a lot of different notes, not just one or two and they're close together. And if you dampen it with your hands, or we can place it on our knees. So that's a pot. I want to demonstrate another instrument that I play. This is, I play this often in the bluegrass band. It's a snare drum. What a snare drum is, it's like a djembe, and because there's a membrane or something, there's a plastic version of a drum head on top. It's a much shallower shell made of wood. And the bottom has another head on it also. It's a two-headed drum. And it has a sound not unlike a djembe. If I play it with some sort of, let's see. Doesn't sound too far away from a djembe. Maybe like the tone on the djembe. So that's in its off position. But the snare drum has these wires on the bottom. Let's see if we can show this across the bottom here that needs to be engaged with a lever. And now the drum has a snappy snare sound to it. It's a wonderful sound, and it's been played for hundreds of years as a part of a drum set, but also works well by itself. So for instance, with drumsticks, we might do this. However, for quieter playing, we use these things called brushes, which are what they sound like, wires that extend out from a central handle. Okay, so why am I saying all this? How can we get this kind of sound with found objects around the house? Actually, it's really fun and easy. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to, first of all, use a brush. This is a hair brush, my own hair brush. It has bristles on it. And if we can find some sort of object that has a snappy sound to it, like the snares on a snare drum, we can get the same kind of effect. So I'm going to start off with this Amazon package. It's crinkly. Crinkly is really good. It's just, you know, a packet for shipping. And what I can do is take the hairbrush and just rub it against the crinkly nature. I like that. I love that a lot. And what particularly makes brushes or hairbrushes really good is that they're continuous. And they kind of have a whispery, almost a tactile feeling to it. Very, very, very beautiful. Now, if you don't have a package around, that's hard to believe these days, but if you don't have that kind of paper, tinfoil can work really well. Let's see if this works. I'm just kidding. I haven't tried this before. Tinfoil. Even, I think, paper might even work. Crump it up a little bit. In fact, you don't even need to have a brush, anything. A pencil could work, I think. Maybe you don't get the sustaining aspect, but you get variations in sounds. I think the important thing about this is that try stuff. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But whenever I try stuff that's new, I always learn things. I learn what to try next time, and I increase the repertoire of sounds that I have for my availability when I'm playing, when I'm playing songs with bands or playing even just off on my own for my own enjoyment. I want to maybe stop there. Let's give you some ideas of what you might be able to do with things around your house or things you find in your yard. Really, it's about using your ears and about keeping your curiosity. Ask yourself, I wonder what this sounds like, and do I like it? Do I want to make more sounds like that? If you get your brother and sister or your mother and father or whoever you have around you, you can form little bands in your house. You can even share them online. That's what people have been doing a lot. And, there's lots of tools out there for doing that. That's one way in which we stay in contact in this very unusual and difficult time. There are ways that we can build a community beyond what we have in our immediate family. And I encourage you to explore those also. I hope things will improve soon and we'll be back to being with each other. But for the time being, these are some ideas to give you as a way of kind of be connecting with yourself and the people who love you and who you love. That's it. Bye-bye. Thanks very much.